The Christmas tree is up behind me then, and we are fully in the swing of the festive season. So let's get started and get into the swing of Season 2 of this Arsenal Football Manager 22 save. My name is Wayne, welcome back to the channel. I hope you enjoyed Season 1. Go catch up if you are new around here. Feel free to like the video, subscribe to the channel as well. I've got a lot of catching up to do. We've made some signings, we've shipped a lot of players out. Let's bring you up to scratch with what happened then, and we've also got a game against Manchester City as well. Welcome back in then, viewers. The start of Season 2 with this Arsenal Football Manager save. I'm buzzing through it. The primary objective this year is to bring silverware back to the Emirates Stadium. We need to be challenging for ideally a Carabao Cup at a minimum. We won an FA Cup. We qualified for the Champions League. I think it might be a little bit too soon for us to talk about winning the Champions League unless we go on a bit of a Cinderella story run. But the Premier League, I would love to bring back. It's been way too long since we've seen Arsenal lift the Premier League title. A long season is ahead, and we have played our first game of the season. We played one, won one, and it was a comfortable victory at home to Burnley, a 3-0 win to get us off and underway in the Premier League. We had a really positive, albeit easy, run during our pre-season, but we got a lot of fitness up and we did a lot of business as well. So let's get you caught up on the ins and outs of the club so far. Starting with the outgoings then, and a player who was out on loan last season, Runnison. He has no future at the club. We managed to sell him to Rangers for a cool £2 million. It was obviously a bit of a surprise when Arsenal signed him in the first place. He's certainly not Premier League quality, and I'm happy that we managed to get £2 million for him. Another player who was out on loan then is Konstantinos Mavropanos. He was kept by Stuttgart. They made his loan deal permanent, and I think it was a fee of around about £2.5 million. Yeah, £2.6 million. Again, another player that didn't really have much of a future at the club. I'm glad again that we managed to pick up some money for him. Moving on to some of the first teamers that we managed to sell. Bernd Leno is the first one. He didn't really play for us last season, and we've managed to recoup about £12.5 million once everything is all said and done. He's gone to Shakhtar Donetsk. He didn't play any games for us last season in the Premier League. Looking at his stats, he only played in 6 cup games in total. Wasn't a big part of the squad whatsoever, so we managed to get in some good funds for Bernd Leno. Aaron Ramsdale is our number one, and we've had to focus on bringing in a backup goalkeeper for him. Next up to leave the club then is Lucas Torreira, a guy that I did like during his time at Arsenal, but he's been on loan for the last couple of seasons, most recently to Fiorentina. They didn't want to make that loan move permanent. We did have some discussions, but they weren't willing to pay what we were looking for. Leeds have come in, so he does stay in the Premier League, so a good move for him. £13.75 million for Torreira to Leeds. I will watch over his development and how he plays in the Premier League, but considering we've got Thomas Partey, we've got Lokonga, we brought in Zakaria, I think we're kind of stacked in that deep midfield position. Obviously, Cesc Fabregas, we brought back home last season as well. Next up then, Matteo Doozy, and it's another player who was out on loan last season. This time, he was out at Marseille. Another team that didn't want to keep him following the loan move. They weren't willing to pay the money to make it permanent. So we've sold him to Real Sociedad. I think the fee is around about 14 million. Yeah, looking at it there, 14.25. Again, with our midfield as stacked as it is, we've got in Kanu, Partey, Zakaria, Lokonga, and we brought in another one, which we'll bring to you shortly. Guendouzi wasn't really going to get the playing time. He's not really developed the way that I would have thought. So it was bye-bye to Doozy this summer. Final departure, which may be a surprise to some people. Granit Xhaka has left the club. He's joined Zenit St. Petersburg to link up again with Alex Lacazette, who we sold to them in January. Granit Xhaka, another player that I weren't really reliant upon. And with the urge for Arsenal to get more physical and get more athletic in the middle of the field, and with the fact that we do have Cesc Fabregas as a little bit of a homecoming and a little bit more of a sentimental signing, doing a very good job as a deep line playmaker, I might add. Granit Xhaka didn't really have a space in the squad. He asked to leave last January. He didn't want to go to Rennes, who was the only club that were interested in him then. 19.5 million, which I think is a decent amount of money considering he was nowhere near our first team plans. That brings a total of outgoings to £64 million to add to around about the 65 to 70 million we had to start off the summer window. Let's show you what we've done with some of that money. We mentioned before the need to get an adequate backup for Aaron Ramsdale, and especially since Bernd Leno left. So welcome to Arsenal, Etienne Green. He's a young English goalkeeper that we managed to sign from Saint Etienne. I'm happy to pick him up. He's got a decent lot of potential as well. A 9.5 million fee, a little bit on the pricey side, but goes to a little bit of our homegrown quota. Obviously, we're trying to get as many English players and young players especially through the door. I'm happy to have Etienne Green in as the backup, and I think he'll be a very able deputy for Aaron Ramsdale. Next player through the door then, and we managed to nab him on a free transfer at the end of his deal with Marseille. Welcome Boubacar Kamara. Play at centre-back, he could play at DM, he could play as more of a box-to-box midfielder. Young, high potential, really athletic. You look at those physical stats, quick across the ground, quite strong as well. I think he'll suit the Premier League down to a T. He's a player that I really like in real life as well. So to get him on a free transfer to bolster that midfield and also offer some defensive stability if the likes of Gabriel or Ben White go down injured for a while, I'm very happy. We beat off some decent competition for Kamara. I think there was Juventus in for him. So I'm glad that that was something that we could get done on a pre-contract a little while ago. Welcome to the club, Kamara. Now, if you did catch up with the FA Cup final episode towards the end of Season 1, you would have seen that Kingsley Coman is out for 7 to 9 months with an ACL injury. So one of our primary objectives was to go out and get a player that can play out wide on that left-hand side as either a winger or an inside forward. We've brought in one of our first wonder kids on the save. Alan Velasco has come in for a very, very cheap fee. A minimum cost of 5 million, going up to 6 million with some add-ons, which won't be too difficult to achieve. But 6 million in today's market really is not that bad for a young, high potential player. He's only 20 years old. 6 million for a player with his qualities. I'm really happy to bring him in, and he'll do really well once Kingsley Coman is even back, covering as deputy on that left-hand side. After what feels like an eternity of links, Wilfried Zaha has finally rocked up to the Emirates Stadium. If you remember, again, at the end of last season review, we looked at some of the teams that were relegated. Crystal Palace were one of the bottom 3. They're now in the Championship. We've taken advantage of Crystal Palace's relegation, and we've brought Zaha in on loan. Very favourable terms to us. I don't think that this will be too pricey whatsoever. And given the fact that Kingsley Coman is injured, Zaha himself is really versatile. Looking at him, he's still got that pace, he's still got that agility. He's a good finisher as well, dribbling-wise. He's going to terrorise Premier League defences. I'm happy that we've brought him in. We're probably going to be rotating between him and Velasco a lot. Martinelli will also potentially get some minutes on that left-hand side. Plus, he's an Arsenal fan as well, so I'm really happy to have Zaha in the club. And probably our best signing, I reckon, so far of the summer. Dominic Zabozlai has come in from RB Leipzig to play in our midfield, reunited with Nkunku. Nkunku, who was our signing of the season last year. I really wanted to get these two back together. And now with Dominic Zabozlai being the more attack-minded of the two, allowing Nkunku to be box-to-box, I'm really excited to see what those two can offer with Thomas Partey in the midfield. Zabozlai's come in, £38 million. It could potentially go up to 48 million. I think that's a really good signing for a young, powerful midfielder who I believe will get us quite a few goals this season and add a little bit of an added dimension to us in the final third. That's a look at our ins and outs then. You would have noticed we've not gone big on a striker yet. Now, striker-wise, things are a little bit interesting. We made a move for Tammy Abraham, and then we didn't have the wages to offer him. So now he's not willing to talk to us. Another striker that we wanted to bring in, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. It's been really difficult to negotiate with Everton, but he might be someone that we've tried to bring in. Osimhen, we've tried to talk to Napoli. They won in the 100+ million, so I don't think it's something that we're going to be going for. Alexander Isak, he won the top goal scorer in La Liga. He's still someone that we're maybe going to look at. But a lot of competition for strikers at the minute is between ourselves. And as you can see with Calvert-Lewin, he's wanted by Man United still. Every striker we seem to go for, Manchester United also seem to go for. You can see here, £71 million in the bank, and we've got a decent wage budget as well. We've got a couple of players that might leave the club still, the likes of Pepe, the likes of Rob Holding. So you could see something in the striking department by the next episode. Nothing yet, so we're still going to be running with Aubameyang for the time being, which I'm okay with. Aubameyang was our top goal scorer last year. He was top goal scorer in the Premier League. Aubameyang, I reckon, will probably start as our striker for the foreseeable future, but I will bring one in guaranteed before the end of the window. Looking at the lineup for the Manchester City game then, and one injury to be a little bit concerned about for the first team. Nkunku is out for a few days. He's currently got a thigh injury that he picked up during pre-season. He'll be out for about a week, so he won't be in this game today. But looking at the starters, Aaron Ramsdale is in goal. Tomiyasu Saliba, who is back from loan, he will be in central defence with Ben White. Gabriel's done nothing wrong, but he had a late international duty, so he's not at his most fit at the minute. Kieran Tierney on the left-hand side of that defence. Midfield three, Zakaria playing as the box-to-box mid, where Nkunku normally would be. Thomas Partey as the DM, and Zabozlai as the central midfielder, and he's been given licence to get forward and attack as much as possible. He's already got a goal in that Burnley game, so 1 goal on his debut at home. What more could you ask for? And then the front three, we've got Ødegaard on the right-hand side as that playmaker. And he ended the season really well last year doing that role for us. Wilfried Zaha on the left-hand side and Aubameyang up front. Let's get into it then. Second game of the season at the Etihad Stadium, away at Manchester City, and one name might spring out to you in that Manchester City side. They've splashed the cash once again, and they brought in João Felix from Atletico Madrid. I think they spent about 120 million for him. So him, Bernardo Silva and Raheem Sterling up front, that's going to be a lot to contend with. But defensively last season, we were really good and we were really impressive. So I'm hoping that we can carry that over into this year. Now, thinking back to last season, we done quite well in some of these fixtures. We picked up a couple of draws against Manchester City home and away. We beat Liverpool at the Emirates. Against the likes of Manchester United and Spurs, we got a couple of good results as well. As the first highlight does go to Manchester City, I'm hoping I'm not going to jinx it. Their build-up is always really, really good. They're going to be challenging for the title once again, especially with João Felix now that he's come in. Cut back to Bernardo Silva. De Bruyne is there. It's well blocked, but Raheem Sterling, is he offside? He looked offside to me following the shot from De Bruyne. At the minute, it's Manchester City 1-0, but they're going to check VAR. Is this going to stand? I hope not. No, goal disallowed. He was in an offside position. Now, obviously, if we do want to win the Premier League, these are the types of games that we do need to nick maybe a win or two. And we finished about, what was it, 13 points behind Liverpool last season, 10 points behind Manchester City, or 7 points, something like that. We do have a few gaps to pick up. Raheem Sterling breaking into the box. It's well defended by Saliba, but Man City are still on the attack. I don't want to get beaten. Last season, we managed to draw with Man City. It would be a little bit of a step back, I'd feel, if we were to lose. Raheem Sterling nearly scores there. They've been the better side this first half. We're going to need to up the tempo, I think, a little bit in the second half. First highlight of the second half then, it goes to Man City. De Bruyne whips it in, but it's headed clear by Ben White. Bernardo Silva is the first to pick up the ball. We've gone more positive in this second half, but it hasn't really become anything in terms of chance creation. We've just gone positive. Raheem Sterling is in the box. This is always a danger. Lays it back to João Cancelo, who finds Rodrigo into Jack Grealish, finds space for the shot. It goes just over. Man City are the better team right now. We're going to need to make some changes if we don't want to lose this game. But it's straight onto another highlight. And again, down this left-hand side of Man City, that's where all of the trouble seems to be coming from. Grealish again has some more space out to the right back. Pedro Porro, who they had out on loan. It's interesting to see that he's starting, especially considering Ferland Mendy is in the squad. They could have Cancelo on that right back, but Jack Grealish just dances through the defence. It's Manchester City 1, Arsenal 0. It's all too easy there. Wilfried Zaha doesn't do enough, and Zakaria makes it way too easy for Jack Grealish to cut on the inside. It's a lovely finish on the left foot past Aaron Ramsdale, but it's really poor defensively from us. Tomiyasu does well to clear it. Can we take the ball from Cancelo? No. They're just knocking it around easily. Felix finds Grealish. He's been a problem all game, and he's hit the bar. We're going to need to make some substitutions, but do we have another chance here? It looks as though there's another highlight straight in with Manchester City. They're knocking it around us really easily. We've not really changed much in comparison to what happened last year, so I don't really understand why they're so much better. Maybe we just caught them on an off day. This is simple for them, just knocking it around. João Felix picking up some space. Watch the run there of Grealish. De Bruyne finds him easily. Grealish is in. That should have been a goal. We're going to make some substitutions and we're going to change some tactics around. We're going to make 3 changes then. Wilfried Zaha and Aubameyang have barely touched the ball. They've been poor, so we're bringing on Martinelli up front and Bukayo Saka on that left-hand side. And then defensively as well, Kieran Tierney was on the yellow card and we'd have no chance at all if we went down to 10 men. So we're bringing on Ainsley Maitland-Niles on that left-hand side. We've also dropped it back down to balanced from positive because we were giving away way too many chances when we were going for it. Manchester City have completely dominated this game and they've got another corner. De Bruyne has a chance to whip it in. Aaron Ramsdale claims well. Can we build something up? He throws it out to Ainsley Maitland-Niles on that left-hand side. We haven't had a single highlight so far in this game. It would be nice to at least test Ederson a little bit, but it's a poor ball by Zakaria who tries to go over the top. And it's well cleared by Ruben Diaz. Now Pedro Porro, who has been dangerous down this right-hand side the whole game, gets across in. Raheem Sterling cuts it back. It's a fantastic challenge there by Thomas Partey, who stops a nailed-on goal from João Felix. Manchester City are just knocking it about with ease. This is absolute child's play for them at the minute. We have not given them a game. Rodri out wide right, this time to Bernardo Silva, who's not really been in the game as much. Pedro Porro into the box. Saka, who has just come on, can't keep up with him and he's given away a penalty. That is a really disappointing challenge from Saka. Someone who I was really disappointed with last year. He played on the left, he played on the right, he did a variety of roles. Saka's going to have to take a step up this year. No way we're considering selling him, but I expect him to be better. De Bruyne with the penalty then slots it down to the keeper's left and it's 2-0 to Manchester City. It's really disappointing to be 2-0 down to Man City, especially the way that we've played. I think it's been really poor. Given the fact that, again, we drew with them at the Etihad last year, and we were the better team, I felt, for the majority of that game last season. João Felix, I understand they brought in, I don't think he's made that much of a difference, but that level of quality is never going to go to it. Martinelli has brought one back. It's 2-1. Maybe it's not game over. Maybe I counted us out a little bit too soon. Saka makes up for giving away the penalty with the assist. Driving down that left-hand side. It's a great ball from Aaron Ramsdale to start things off. Saka down that left-hand side. Gets past his defender. Cuts it across low. And Martinelli's done more than Aubameyang did in this game. Scores at the near post. It's a wonderful finish. The highlight came out of nowhere. I didn't even expect it. Have they killed off the game? It's 3-1 now. They're all celebrating. I think that this goal will be onside. Gabriel Jesus from a João Felix assist. Yep, goal has been awarded. I wasn't even expecting the chance. It was good build-up on this left-hand side. Ferland Mendy's come on. Took the quick throw-in. And João Felix, that's a wonderful pass into Gabriel Jesus at the back post. Look at that. Nice interplay between the players there. He's way onside. Just gets suckered in. We're a little bit all over the place defensively there. Man City 3, Arsenal 1. Now, I think it's game over. Full time then. Manchester City 3, Arsenal 1. I'm really disappointed with the way we played there. We made it way too easy for Man City. Obviously, they are going to be title contenders come the end of the season, as I've completely pressed the wrong button there and now everyone's demotivated. So this has gone well, Wayne. Well done. 3-1 to Man City then. It's absolutely disappointing. It's a game that, again, I didn't expect to win, but I would have liked us to be a little bit more competitive. I hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Thank you for spending your time watching this video. Thank you for chilling on the Wayne's World channel. If you are new around here, hit that subscribe button down below. If you are enjoying the content, feel free to hit that like button on the video as well. It really would help me out. Also, get involved in the comments. Let me know how your FM saves are going. Let me know if there's anything I should do differently, that I should look into improving in this Arsenal squad. Striker recommendations as well. I need as many of them as possible. Should it be Calvert-Lewin? Should it be Tammy Abraham? Should it be someone else? Obviously, one of the big ones is still available. I am, of course, talking about Erling Haaland. He's still at Dortmund, and there's not really been much interest from the big clubs for him. Real Madrid haven't come in. Barcelona haven't come in. Man City haven't come in. They've gone for João Felix instead. Is Haaland going to be the difference for us this Premier League campaign? Let me know. Should I make a cheeky move? We've got 70 million. I wouldn't mind throwing on a bunch of add-ons for this absolute demon. Let me know in the comment section down below if you think it's something I should do. As always, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you for the next video.